Good morning. We're going to get ready to set up our new to us incubator. We bought this incubator used. Well, we've used it once now, so about a month ago we bought it. This is a Sailnova, I think I said that right. It's a brand out of China, but it's worked really good for us. I think this model is around $130, $140 off of Amazon. We just finished a hatch in it. I put 26 eggs in the incubator, and I believe our final count was 21 live chicks, 20 or 21 live chicks. We did lose one. It was sort of a weird deal. It hatched. It had a little assistance hatching. I try not to assist much, but it did have some assistance hatching, and then it did end up and die. It was a weird deal why I assisted that one in the first place. But anyways, pretty good results out of this incubator. We're switching to this one from our homemade cabinet incubator that we used last year, just because we weren't getting the results we needed from the cabinet incubator, and we don't have the time or the money to keep throwing at experimenting with fixing it this year. So we're just going to use this one for now, and we'll go back and try to fix the cabinet incubator later. But I want to show you the setup for this, show you how to get your eggs started in case you decide to use this model. So this is the incubator. I think I said that name right, Sailnova. And again, it's self-contained. It's got the humidity system. It even has a candle light, which I thought was kind of cool. You can just set the egg on there and candle the egg. Vent holes, all the things. This one has a different turner than what we normally use. We normally use the turner that's like a tray and the little pieces rock back and forth. This whole bit, this lid is kind of heavy, so I'm not sure. This whole bit just slides back and forth within the box and rolls the eggs. It's hard for me to show you that right now, but I'll show you again in a minute. But we've been, like I say, we've used it once and we were satisfied with it, so let's set it up and try it again. Now, setting this up, it's going to be a little difficult for me to show you because we've been putting it inside the cabinet. You are now inside the cabinet that we used for our cabinet incubator, just because this is kind of a safe place to put it, and because the other incubator is here, we can close the door and add extra insulation so that when we're using it during the winter, that'll help us control the temperature a little bit because it'll have the extra insulation around it. We don't have a place inside to set up an incubator. The house is just too small and not enough extra plugs. So this is the bottom of the incubator. I am going to go ahead and put some paper towels down here just because when I just cleaned it, I noticed that a lot of the shells and gunk had fallen through. And so I'm just going to see if I can catch that for the next hatch. All right, so again, I put the paper towels down to catch shells and stuff when the chicks are hatching, because this turner, we actually just pick it up off the eggs when they're ready. So let me put the eggs in and I'll show you, but I wanted to show you first. This incubator is good for lots of different size eggs because you can adjust these rails for, like, you can move them closer together if you're doing quail eggs. You can move them further apart for duck or goose or turkey, something like that. So that's kind of nice because you're not buying different turners. Let me see if I can get one out without making a mess. I don't think I can. These are our old turners, and so you had to buy different trays for different size eggs versus just moving these rails along to change for this one. This is going to end up being a very small hatch because I don't actually have a breeder pen right now. I don't actually have hens with a rooster. I just have two of my older hens in with one rooster, so I'm not getting very many eggs from them. And some of these eggs are older. Typically, I only hatch eggs that have been laid within about 7 days. I think the official number is 10 days, but I aim for about a week. So some of these may not hatch just because of their age. But the way this turner works, they're just going to roll back and forth like this, and so it turns them by rolling them versus by standing them up and moving them back and forth like the regular turners do. This next part is going to be hard for me to show you because I'm not sure exactly where to set up the camera, but this incubator works off of a reservoir system to keep the humidity level right. So we've got a hose here that will attach over here, and then it will go into the reservoir. And this is just a tub that I already had. They recommend just like a little bitty bottle, and that was silly because I had to keep remembering to fill it up, and I'm not going to remember that, so I prefer to have a good chunk of water there. All right, so first we have to pull a siphon on this. So the best way that I know to do that is to just dunk the whole hose so that the whole thing can get filled up. We don't want any air bubbles in it. Try to let all those bubbles out. I don't know how much of this you can see. All right, now let me see where I can put the camera. Okay, you're blocked up on a box of screws. Hopefully this works. All right, so I've got the hose in the tub here, and I know you can't see that part right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this end. You want to keep your finger over it, kind of like you would with a straw, where you can let the water go again. So fill it with water, finger over it like a straw. It's kind of a delicate part. And then keeping the majority of the hose inside that tub. There's two little clips here that I will try to show you in a minute. That this little short hose wraps around and goes into those clips. And the majority of that hose is still here in the tank. I think I might still have some air bubbles in it. Took me 2 or 3 tries the first time to figure out how to do this. So, but you want to get air and not bubbles in this, and then it'll be set. Let me try to show you better what I just did here. So we've got the whole hose is down in here. We pulled the siphon. There's no bubbles in here. I did have to go back and do it again when I wasn't fussing with the camera, but no bubbles. There's some clips right there that one goes in. It pulls really tight around here and clips right there as well. And up here under our reservoir, there's a measuring spot. When you need to replace this hose, it shows you how to cut that to have it the right size to go there. This piece is disposable. You're only going to use it once or twice before you trim a new one and put a new one on. And so we have extra hose that came with it. I assume it's fairly straightforward to order more hose when we need that as well. All right, so let's get it plugged in. Because of the way our cabinet incubator worked, we have the plugs here in the cabinet. Oh, we have a little shield that goes on over here as well to keep all of that lined up and in place. We'll get that on. All right, so we want to reset it back to factory settings just to make sure that everything is correct. So we're going to hold down the plus button. Okay, it worked before. Come on. Oh, never mind. We hold down both at the same time. I knew that. There we go. So now we've reset to factory settings. So the turner's going to move every 120 minutes, so every 2 hours. And it just did a test move there. I don't know if you caught that, but it did just move. The day count is reset. This is the current temperature. It will be set to, I think it's 101, or no, 100.4 is what this one's set to. And then the humidity, we want it to get on up higher than that, but since it just came on, it will work on that. So then we have other vent holes down here. If the humidity gets too high, you can open these, or if for some reason your reservoir is not working, you can use a bottle of water to pour water through here to put water underneath for humidity. And you have these vent holes here as well. And that's all there is to it. So that's just gonna hang out in the cabinet for 21 days. And then we will see how many of those eggs hatch. And like I say, it might not be a great hatch just because some of them are older, but we will see. There it is.